It is a beautiful Monday morning from the nation's capital, and with each day filled with the agitation as to what the future holds for their country, Nigeria, considering the recent defection of some politicians who were thought to be bold enough to hold the government of the day accountable. Good morning, viewer, and welcome to now streaming on ACNNTV. And I trust you had a fruitful weekend. I'm Femi Ogundare, your anchor for today. I'm not alone. I have with me my co-anchor.
And it's nice to be on the show with you this morning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Somtoshiku. The pleasure is mine. And of course, we have our guest in the studio, Honorable Ifeanyi Shuku Agbaze. He is a politician and a businessman. You're welcome this morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me here once more.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege to have you. All right. And viewers, I encourage you to all share the link of this live program with your friends and family. Please remember to call in using the number displayed on your screen, or send us your comments via any of our social media platforms, also showing on your screen. Firstly, let us start with the conversation. Let's start the conversation by looking at some headlines of some Nigerian dailies that came in early. Starting from the Punch newspaper, Mr. Somto.
Thank you, my uncle. I will be beginning with the Punch newspaper this morning. Over the main story there we have Matawale Zamfara governor face off over defection plot. We can find that on page 8 on the Punch newspaper. And also we are aware of this ground rent issue that is taking a whole toll in the capital territory recently, and it's about the ground rent. Now we're having 34 embassies risk closure by Tuesday, and some of these embassies, we have the German, we have the Russia, Turkey. These are part of the people on the defaulters list, and that we can find on page 2 on the Punch newspaper. And then the main story we have there, it's the commissioning of some key renewed projects executed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration in commemoration with the second anniversary of the present administration. And this commissioning is going to take 17 days, and it's beginning from June 10 to July 3rd, 2025. And just beside the picture story there, you're going to see the list of the places to be commissioned and the days in which they will be commissioned. And just like you said before we started the show this morning, my uncle, all we have here is our roads, boats, terminals, and we kudos to the minister for this. It is a job well done, but I think some essential things, just like you said, the health sector, schools, none of it is part of this. We all have roads, and so we appreciate the minister for that which he has done, and we ask that please more should be done. And just a quick advice to our viewers: these places that will be commissioned, I'm sure we are going to have loads of traffic on these days, because wherever the president is going to be, there is really going to be traffic jams. You get just him passing the road alone, people are on hold. Then imagine going to certain places. So we're expecting huge traffic for that 17 days.
And to add, what he is doing is good. But in FCT we still have satellite towns. This development, this project, I believe is in the city center. What about the satellite towns?
Like the remote
areas.
But I would like to take you up on that. Right. I think about a few months ago, I saw it because this is the national TV. Right. And I saw where the FCT minister went to Kwale and went to Kuje area, which are the interiors or satellite towns. So he took a bold step to go there, and he gave them very good routes. And around Keita axis of the airport, I think he has done the road, and I think, and it has been commissioned since I think a few months ago. I think.
Okay, just that Keita, not we have plenty of them. You understand? At least some of these areas are supposed to be in his project, 17 days commissioning of project now, not just one area. We have plenty areas I can mention. He's trying. I'm not saying that he's not trying. He's doing his best, but he needs to look into those satellite.
Mr. Ifeanyi, I will come to you. Let me quickly go to the Vanguard newspaper. Mr. Minister of the FCT, Mr. Yeson Wike, I want to commend you for all these works done, because some people were asking question citizens on a very factual note now, that we've not had ministers in FCT for the past 8 years. Now that Wiki is coming in, there's an eyes open now that FCT minister can do things, even like governors. So let's give good kudos to him.
Yeah, no.
Although they have their shortcomings.
No, yeah, of course, he's trying. He's trying, and in this area of generating revenue for the FCT through this ground rent and other things, the former ministers, I don't think they have looked into all these things.
All right, I'll come to you now, sir.
Right.
Now to the Vanguard newspaper. Let's look at the above masthead. Tinubu to Sanwo-Olu. Your sins are forgiven as GAC visits president in Lagos. And beside it, we have hardship. Nigerians cut spending on foreign travels by 30%. I hope that's true. And of course, below the masthead, we have our economy is back on track. Bagudu. So he made that statement. And of course, the picture story, as said by my co-anchor, we have the picture of roads constructed by the FCT minister. We have the Mabushi bus terminal, the Kugbo bus terminal, and the dates which they will be commissioned. And of course, the axes that will be commissioned. I want to come to you, Mr. Ifeanyi, quickly.
Yeah.
Looking at what the FCT minister has done so far, and looking at the past 8 years of the former regime, do you think the FCT minister has really gone above 80%, if to be rated?
Well, the truth is that he has tried, but I think if I should rate him over 100, I will give him 50.
Okay,
because
2 years, 50.
Yeah, because
maybe the next 2 years.
Okay, fine. Because I was discussing with someone, was it on Wednesday? He now said, "Now only road we go chop." I don't know. Now only road we go chop. You get the point now. Now, LEA schools in FCT are on strike. Getting to a month now.
Now?
Of course. They're on strike.
More than a month now.
More than a month, right? You see? So what are we talking about? The other time, it was the health people that went on strike.
In FCT?
In FCT. Understand where I'm going? He's trying, but I'm giving him 50 over 100.
What will you have him do more?
What I have just said now, let him look into these areas, look into the school, the health, just as you have said, then move into the satellite towns. There are some satellite towns, they don't have good roads. And all this spread of diseases are coming from such places. He needs to move in there and do the magic he has been doing in the city centers. So that is what I will have him to do.
All right, Mr. Santo.
Okay, just like our guest has said, we really commend the Honorable Minister for his work so far. And I believe in politics there's actually nothing one can do that he has ever done enough. We humans, we would always still have that bias. And I'm not simply saying that, yes, he has not done well or he has done well. I'm going to give it to him that, yes, because roads also are part of our basic essentials as humans. You get, I can remember before now, if you do apply this Apple resettlement, Apple Mechanic Road, this one towards the shop right at Apple, you would realize that that was like more or less the Lagos of Abuja. People leave their house very, very early and they are still very much stuck on traffic for hours. And the day I was opportune, I would say opportune to be held in that traffic. It was more or less like I was in Lagos. But you could see that recently there is a whole lot of changes. You can never be held on traffic on that road again because it has now been expanded. So we still give it to him that yes, roads are actually very vital, you get.
Okay.
But also, just like our guest said, there is still more to be done. We commend them, yes, but we should still remember that it is not out of their personal money that these developments are being done. It is still the public. It is still our funds that are being used. So we commend him for doing it, but it is not still out of his own. It's not his pocket. So those, just like our guest is crying, those in the remote also still need these changes. They still need this touch to also make their life better. Let's not even go far. Go to Durumi. Durumi has terrible roads. Terrible roads. And Durumi is still inside town, you get. So some of all these things, and I also still believe that our schools need revamping, like totally. It means like I pass certain schools and they are nothing to write home about. And let's not forget that health and schools are very, very also much important to make life better. So you see that schools, at least in all of this, there is no school that is being commissioned there. And I feel that even if it's just one or two that have been added, then a very big kudos. And also our health sector. The health sector is really, really suffering. Really suffering. We do not know about it because probably we have been privileged not to go to these certain places that depend strictly on their health centers. When we get there, you're going to see the mess that's happening there. So our health and also still need those touches. But
all right.
Another area I would like him to look into is security.
Okay.
Security. You know, there is the insecurity in FCT is increasing day by day. What is he doing about it? You understand? He let him look into security and improve them. Do something about it. All these roads, yes, the same road, there will be insecurity on the road. What is he doing? That's why I gave him 50. He's trying.
All right. I have a question. I'll come to you, Michael. I have a question for you.
All right, sir.
Looking at the insecurity path, some people believe that opening up these satellite towns with good roads will scare away bandits.
Okay.
That if you have good access roads, it will scare away these bandits and miscreants. That now that we have good roads. So that's number one question. What is your take on that? Number two is that the issue of education. We have some communities in this Abuja that their schools are dilapidated.
Very, very.
But now the FCT minister is going around to build 2 blocks of classrooms in each community. Okay. Do you think the FCT minister should build new ones or revamp and renovate the old ones that has been dilapidated?
Okay, let me start with your first question. Opening up roads will scare away, let's say, bandits or insecurity.
And some people are of the opinion.
Yeah. Now, if you do the roads and there is a good access road from the satellite town and everywhere, if you do not put up a security outpost in those areas, I don't think you have done anything about security. You open it up, okay, I have built road from, okay, let's just say from the Kaitana to wherever it's going. No security outpost. What do you think will happen? These miscreants will have a free ride. They will easily go in, do what they want to do, and leave the place. But if there is police outpost, at least checkpoints before the outpost in these areas, at least it will checkmate insecurity. So,
allow him to answer the second question. Yes.
So now the second one is him building new classrooms,
Yes.
blocks of classroom is good, but the old ones should be rehabilitated. You get the point, because you can't just throw the old ones away, because even the old ones we are talking about is not even enough for the school. So let him add and also rehabilitate the already existing ones.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, my uncle.
All right, my uncle. The truth is, let's in as much as it is just roads are still very, very important. If you have been held up in traffic before, you would realize that most people that are being held up in traffic, it is usually advisable when you're on traffic to wind up your glasses, because at that point anything can happen, because one can just throw his hand inside your car because you're locked in. No, I'm just trying to
Why
establish.
must it be when you are on a road, whatever?
No, I'm just trying to establish.
The normal go slow, you wind up.
No,
Why should you?
no,
If there is security, why should you wind up? Why should you be afraid of you leaving your windows down? Why should you be afraid?
Let's get your point very
must
well.
our own be different?
my point,
Let's get his
my
point,
point
yes.
is, I still give it greatly to the Minister of
It's like you are
FCT.
an APC member.
No.
Let's get your view. Let's get his view. Yes.
My view is roads are still very important.
Of course.
I still give him this. See,
Of course.
one thing Abuja is known for, it's their good roads. You are barely held in traffic in Abuja for over 10, 15, 20 minutes before you know you're out of it and you keep moving. And you see, roads are really, really, really important. So I'm still giving it to him that these roads are a kudos to him. But I don't think putting checkpoint, just like you said, putting up checkpoint on this road is going to help combat security issues we have in Nigeria. Security in Nigeria, like, just, I believe if we want to.
Now we have a caller, please. Yes.
Thank you. Fermi Joe.
All right, sir. Good morning, sir.
I wish to say that commissioning roads, building bridges is the responsibility of the government. And of course, we may praise them for doing so, because the previous administration failed to do so. Nonetheless, we submit that it will be reasonable that the political leadership is purposeful in the sense that they don't do projects to impress the masses. Going that way, we make it look as if the masses is at their mercy. Like the contributors are saying on the program, what about healthcare? What about education? What about security? So they should make Nigeria more conducive to do business. Then we need to praise the government for increasing the minimum wage. But at the same time, it's like giving us money with the right hand, taking it with the left hand because of high cost of goods. So the government should work very hard on the economy. Number one. Number two, security. Then they should focus on our education. I think if they focus on that, it will be better for us all.
Thank you so much, sir. That was very good, and thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Yes, my uncle.
Just to go on with it, just like our caller had said, these are all responsibilities of the government. But you praise them when the previous administration failed to do it. And also, I strongly believe that, okay, if we know Wike as a person from Port Harcourt, you would know that Wike is somebody that works. He did a whole lot throughout his 8 years in Rivers State, built a whole lot of bridges and good roads. So this is his kind of person. This is what he does. But also, I still strongly believe that all these infrastructures are politically motivated.
You have said it all. You have said it all.
They are all politically motivated, because you would be surprised to see few years from now Wike running and then using some of all this. These are things that when you do, you win the heart of the people. And then when you come out tomorrow to say, remember I did this, my 8 years or my 4 years as the FCT minister, I did this, I did this, I did that. People begin to write it into your good book. So most of these things they do it not because they have the interest of the masses at heart, but because they intend using it tomorrow for the
Alright.
Then lastly, your question on school. I believe when we talk about renovation, you will realize that the money that will be used to renovate that school will be able to erect a new building. How much was used to renovate the vice president's apartment? Or you'll be hearing outrageous amounts. So rather than a renovation, why don't we knock them down and erect something standard? See, when you walk into a government school, you know it is a government school. Why? Because of the structure. But what happens to erecting structures that when we go into it, we wonder, is this actually a government school or a private school? Because when we want to talk about renovation, you'll be surprised that the money that will be spent on that renovation can be used to erect something far better than what was renovated.
All right, quickly. Our leaders has left us with no choice than to look at them with this kind of eyes without suspicious kind of eyes. We do not trust them because they can come and say the street light from Gudu to Gadua is around 10 billion.
It's in the budget now.
Why you can just have street light at 1 million naira, 2 million naira?
One street light 1 million.
You put something very good in your house. You understand? I'm just saying.
Of course.
So it's this kind of a lacuna they've left, and the masses has kind of exploited to look at them as leaders that cannot be trusted.
Can you trust them?
I don't know. Let me come to you, Mr. Ifan, quickly. Over the weekend,
yes,
Mr. Aminu Suleiman, a member of the Northwest Development Commission, said that the 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is far better than the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari. What is your take?
Well,
coming from a northerner.
The truth of the matter is that I will say it live here. He's lying. It's not true. Buhari, in fact, I will say that he has even done far more well than Tinubu. What has Tinubu done? Everything is still high, going high, day by day. Has the economy improved? You see, this is a political statement meant to favor them in the sight of the president. Somebody like me, I will say it the way it is. How can he say that 2 years of Tinubu is better than 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari? That is a big lie. That is a big lie. Let's just look at it. Okay, Buhari brought there's this was it survival fund, all this empowerment, this thing. A whole lot of people benefited. Tinubu is doing some empowerment. How many people have benefited from such empowerment? Go to the streets. You ask this person, have you benefited from this? They will say no. It is within them. But Buhari threw this empowerment thing open. Nigerians got it. Yes, he has his lapses. So he has. You understand? He has his lapses. But who have benefited from this empowerment that is going on? Nobody.
Maybe because you are buoyant. You don't know.
How? No. You don't have to say that. Okay, now let's go to the mass housing. I know a lot of civil servants that got this mass housing from Buhari. Tinubu is doing his own. He says, is it Hope? What? Renewed Hope Initiative housing. How many people have benefited? This is what we check. We don't just talk. We are talking so that they will take corrections and not just talk for mere talking to gain favor. You understand? We are not insulting anybody.
Are you faulting that statement?
I'm faulting it 100%.
Wow.
He's wrong. Very wrong. How can he say it? It's very wrong. The insecurity we are talking about now has even increased very well. Look at Benue. It's like every day killing field. Look at Borno. Our soldiers are being killed like chicken. Was it like that during Buhari's time? It wasn't. Not that there was not insecurity. There was insecurity. But check the insecurity now, between now and that of Buhari. Every day people are being killed. Every day, just like this people is like they have given them license, and somebody from the north is saying this. May God forgive them.
My co-uncle.
Just like you said before you asked this question, there's practically nothing our politicians, they have done so much that when they do certain things, we begin to interpret it in another way. Because just imagine somebody like this you just mentioned coming out to say something. Tomorrow, if he says something else, would you bother to listen to him? If we have gotten to that point that when our politicians greet you good morning, you need to check the time. But to be sure that it's not. No.
But we never can tell. Everybody's perspective is different, and you have right to your own opinion. What I'm saying is that we never can tell from which side Mr. Aminu Suleiman is looking from.
But these people are just after themselves. That statement that was made was just to be on the good book of this present administration.
That is it.
Wow.
How would you say? We what Buhari did not do to us in 8 years, this present administration has done it to us in 2 years. Life was far better.
All right.
How possible
Viewers,
is that?
You can join this conversation by calling us on our number showing on your screen, or send us a comment via our social media platform also showing on your screen. I will take up my guest quickly on this question.
All right, sir.
It's a comment from a viewer that 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari's atrocities is far more than the 2 years of President Tinubu's atrocities. That President Buhari jeopardized our common patrimony. What do you have to say about this comment?
Well, like I said, the truth is that the both of them, they have not really done well. Oh. You understand? Yeah. But from the statement somebody made,
and that the 8 years,
that 2 years of Tinubu is better than 8 years of, is a big lie. Now, take for instance, let me put it in a simpler way. This insecurity during the Buhari time, at least if these bandits strike in a place, it will take them like another 3 months or 6 months before they strike again. Now look at this time now. They will strike today, strike tomorrow, next tomorrow, continue striking. And you are telling me that this man's 2 years is better than is not possible.
All right, looking at that, I'll come to my co-uncle also. Do you think there is the involvement of this government in this insecurity?
We have been saying this thing. Politicians who were not in government before,
we have a caller.
use them.
We have a caller. Sorry. Okay. We are coming up to that question.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, I call from. My name is Bro Joseph. I call from Benue State.
Thank you, sir.
So about this a contribution about a politician within the former president Madu Bugari and Tinubu. So the thing is that contribution, like what said, this 8 years of Madu Bugari and these 2 years of Tinubu, he check the other way around. Check about issue of fuel. Because fuel has selling today now, the selling of this period is higher than this one Tinubu has selling towards the regime of Bugari. So now fuel now is about 900, and time of Bugari, fuel is not like that. You want to check about that aspect there. You know that there is a lot of difference. So now, if we have brought this price of this thing down and take about another area, the way things going, things high. That of Bulgaria is not like this. I don't know whether you understood me. So now, this is the issue I look about. Look at even the employment. Look at some students now that have finished school. There is not work now. There is no work for them. Most of them riding Okada. Most of them riding keke. It's not supposed to be at this country. So that's my contribution about that aspect. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph from Benue. Thank you so much.
You see him now coming from another perspective, using fuel to judge the two administrations. Now back to what I was saying.
Yes. Do you think there is the involvement of the government in this insecurity? And don't forget, we're on national TV.
I know. Let me answer you this way. People who were not in government yesterday used these people to get into what? Government. Mind you, right? They used them to get into what? Government. And now they are in government. They keep using them against their opponents. That is what is happening.
Who used them? I didn't. Clarity, please.
I don't want to mention names.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the fact. People, for example, now, again, I'm not in government, but I want to be in government. Now, I hire some thugs to,
scramble the current
my opponents.
Yeah.
They now did it. I now came into power.
Yeah.
Do you think I will throw those boys away? I will continue using them because I have used them to come into power. I will continue using them. Take for instance of this Benue thing. You think it's not political? Was it happening like this before in Benue? It's political. Maybe it's the other person that lost. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Okay, sir.
You understand? So all these things is politically motivated. In fact, it's people in government that are doing this thing.
Wow.
That is the truth of the matter.
Wow.
People in government, okay, let me shock you again. Kaduna State, when Erofai, since he left, are you still hearing the thing has somehow reduced, right? Is it not true? We are all of us are in Nigeria. This banditry or this insecurity of a thing has reduced somehow in Kaduna. Now, when this man was there, the thing was very high. Erofai, insecurity was very high in Kaduna State. I'm a Nigerian. I want the best for my country. We have to start saying the truth. Insecurity was very high. He's no longer there. Are you still hearing that they went to Soso village and killed the way they were doing when he was in power? He was doing it to suppress the other people.
Are you saying the man is involved?
Of course. Tactically.
Wow.
Tactically. So that is the truth. We should tell ourselves the truth. People in government are the ones doing all these things. Tell me, Tinubu, you say that you are the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. You cannot protect your territory. Your territory. Let me give this story. Where I stay before, there was a lot of insecurity. So we, the landlords, we came together and decided to start our own this local vigilante to protect that area. I was made the secretary of the vigilante in that place. There was a chairman, a retired army officer. The vice was also a retired army officer. I tell you the real truth. It took us just 3 weeks. We knew where those criminals were coming out from. We rounded them up. We dealt with them. The thing stopped. Now, tell me, as a president of a country, you are not telling me that you don't know where these people are? You cannot go after them? Is a lie.
All right.
They should stop deceiving us.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr.
This insecurity can be, I'm not happy. This insecurity can be stopped if government want to. Yes, if government wants to stop this insecurity, it will stop.
All right.
That is it.
Viewers, you can join us in this conversation. As you call the number showing on your screen, or send us your comment through any of our social media platform, also showing on your screen. My co-anchor.
A former head of state once said, if insecurity lasts more than
General Bashar.
yes
24 hours, but
it means that the government is in charge. It's involved rather.
Yeah.
It's involved.
So are you saying the government is
No,
colluding with them?
what I'm trying to say is, when we talk about this bandit or insecurity, these people do not come to fight with cutlass. They do
sophisticated
not, they do
weapons.
Not, they come in with, just like he said, sophisticated. There was something there was something I saw on the internet where the military were saying that the drone that was used to launch an attack on a community was just like the type Israel will use to launch an attack on Gaza.
Yes.
Where do they get it from? Where do they get their sponsors from? Do you know what it means to get a firearm? How much it costs to buy a bullet, to buy a gun? The guns that these people use are far beyond our AK-47 that our regular military people use. You will discover that these people have sponsors, and you will realize that there is, before any single arm would come, even before the military would buy an arm, it has to pass through the National Security Advisor. He's the one he's the one, a lot of processes that he's the one that approves such. So you ask yourself questions: how do these people get such weapons into a sovereign nation? And you tell me the government do not know how to combat it. We see other civilized or other democratic nations. They fight. What they fight is war, not insecurity. It is beyond you can't hear, for example, that something happened in Israel, and if it is not coming from outside, it can't be happening from inside. For how long have we been battling insecurity? And are you simply trying to tell me that the government of Nigeria cannot fight these guys? Where do they get their arms from? Where do they get their money from? Who sponsors them? Who brings their weapons into Nigeria? Who gives them the car? Who gives them the drone? Who gives them the rifles? Who gives them the gun? Who feeds them? So you realize that there's a sponsor. There is somewhere it is coming from. I'm not saying that the government are totally involved. What I'm saying is it could be just a fact that it could be that some people in government, maybe for their political reasons, are feeding these guys with the resources needed to just keep the nation in chaos, probably from what they are benefiting from it.
All right, so you think that the government can can stop insecurity if they want?
Very perfectly. They can
Every
stop.
government
They
can
can
fight
they can
insecurity.
stop it
Every
if
government.
they want to. They can. Who are these people?
I remember speaking with somebody I respect so much.
Okay.
That and he said something that some of these places that have this level of insecurity, it's probably places that are blessed with natural resources. For example, Borno. Borno is blessed with gold.
Yeah.
So how do you mine this gold with the villagers living in it? Because when you come there, they begin to place demands. Because
Sorry, we have a caller.
okay.
Good morning, gentlemen in the studio. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
This Dr. Baker. I call from River State, Port Harcourt, precisely. Yes. What I want to contribute here is that this discussion is very interesting, and we need to know that the security stuff we talk about, is it not better we tell ourselves the truth? Why don't they attack the like Abuja, all those seats of power? Why not they go there and attack those people, for us to know that really they are no insiders doing those infiltrations?
That's another point.
Why not attack those men? Why attacking communities, very poor people that cannot resist, very vulnerable people? You are attacking them, killing them. Let me tell you, the thing is that there are some people who are pioneering those things from within.
Simple.
Okay, for instance, let's say Benue State. How can those people infiltrate into the state, come into the communities, and nobody is seeing them? While we have checkpoints so many places. Let us be realistic. The problem we are having in this country is that some individuals in this country are aiming at some that is destabilizing and meaning some certain group of people. I advise, if I'm to advise on this topic, I will say, let us have community vigilantes, well armed. If possible, the government should register them. Let them be well armed by the government. You see that this thing will stop.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you say that any community where such thing happen, the leaders of those communities will be held responsible. The chiefs and all the leaders of those communities will be held responsible. You see that they will form a very formidable vigilante that will check their environment, will check whoever. If anybody enters within that community within the last 24 hours, they will note them. They will report them. And you see that all these things we're talking about will go. It's internal stuff. They know what they're doing.
Of course.
Some are from politicians. Some are politicians who wants to give a bad name to some other people. Some are religious. They I don't know what they're doing with the souls of human beings who die. What benefit they are getting from that? But to me, let us form serious vigilante. I'm not saying community police. So I'm saying vigilantes. Who can take care of this? You see that it will stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah,
and I want to take a comment from a viewer.
Okay.
He said from Ojoferami Emmanuel, no difference between calamity and catastrophe. The last regime and the present are on the same page in terms of visionless governance. And I come to you quickly. A few days ago, the governor of Benue State, His Excellency, Governor Lo Mem Halea, said
He's
that
a
this,
reverend also.
yes,
No, let's take that reverend.
Out of it.
Let's take it out.
he
of
said
it.
concerning this insecurity in his own domain, Benue State, that some National Assembly members are culprits. They know about it. What do you have to say? It's as if the governor is helpless.
A few minutes ago, you asked me the same question, and you asked me if people in government, if their hands were in it. What did I say? I say yes. Now, this is a sitting governor saying now he's indicting, not even indicting, saying the truth that the National Assembly, some of them, their hands are in it. Is that not so? Now, let me tell you this thing, and I will continue to repeat it. People in government, whether minister or National Assembly members or whatever, their hands are in this thing. You understand? And government, if government wants to stop it, they can stop it. Somebody that called earlier later said we should form what? Vigilantes in the communities, which is good. My own, I will plead that they legalize weapons. Nigerians should be able to carry their own what? Weapons. This nonsense will stop. Even if vigilantes were not formed, let the carrying or usage of weapons be legalized, starting from AK-47. Pump action, good. Let everybody buy it. Keep it in your house. These things will stop.
No, I really think we should not look into that.
No. It has gotten to that
because
aspect.
Even the United States are still trying to see how they can. The decision they took, they are still regretting it now.
Do you think
Legalizing
Nigeria
weapons.
is
No, we
that
are not.
developed?
No, we are not
Can handle
developed to
that?
handle that
See,
yet.
Nigeria is developed to handle that.
No.
We are developed. It has gotten to that.
But the licensing of firearms.
No, we
Of
can-
course,
no,
is good.
No, I don't think
My
licensing
dear,
of arms for us.
now it
now.
is good. I'm telling you the gospel truth. It is good. Yes, for us to start
no,
it.
we should not do that now.
Why shouldn't we?
No, we have not gotten to that.
No, why
pedigree
shouldn't
to-
we? You remember this former chief of army staff, what's his name? Theophilus. You know, he said this sometime 2000 and what, and he said it again this year. Nigerians should stand up and defend themselves. Danjuma. Theophilus Danjuma. Will you use stick and go and defend yourself with these people that are carrying? They are not carrying pump action from AK-47, automatic and up, and machine guns. So if he can say it, he has seen something. Are you with me? And I too have seen something. So they should approve. Let everybody get your own firearms. Defend yourself. Let them come now. They will not come.
I was okay.
All right, viewers, do you think Nigeria is developed enough to handle the licensing of firearms? Let's have your comments. And of course, just in 10, 20 seconds, something happened over the weekend. Senator Ali Ndume, Senator representing Borno South Senatorial District, said that this PDP governor defecting to APC will not make any changes. That it will be as if when PDP governor supported Jonathan and he lost in the in 2015, right? 2015 election, right?
Yes.
And now that Tinubu should also be ready, there is going to be a massive loss on his part. That the defection will not affect anything. What do you have to say? Just in 10 seconds.
Well, of a truth, the truth is that Tinubu is a game player. I give it to him more than Jonathan. So I don't think those people defecting it will have any effect. They cannot pull him down. The only thing that can pull Tinubu down is coalition. If political parties form a strong coalition, even if all the governors let them go and belong there, they will remove him. But with this, their defection, I don't think it will affect the president negatively. It will not affect. It's to his own advantage.
You think history will not repeat itself?
No. I don't think so.
And my uncle?
I stand with him. Like he said, Tinubu.
The way you say you stand with him.
Tinubu was not in power. And he found himself there as the president.
We have a caller. Sorry.
You think you can unseat him?
Sit him like
Yes,
that.
we have a caller.
I think what we need in Nigeria is to empower the security of the home with more arms and backup so that we can fight this problem that the raised by our brother and our sister and make us not to sleep with our eyes closed. That is my little suggestion.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. OJ from Edo State.
What he's saying, I don't think that should be, because these security agents, they have been empowered. Always.
You know, I was trying to say something.
The government have been empowering them, buying weapons for them, buying equipments for them, to the extent of even increasing their salaries to motivate them. The allowances are big, fat.
you know, I was
now, what are we still seeing? Look, the only thing the government is supposed to do is that they should form the vigilantes. 1, 2, legalize weapons. Nigerians should carry it, and let there also be a law that will regulate it. You understand? Let there be a law that will regulate it.
All right, sir, Mr. Infanishuku. Because of want of time, I want us to just discuss the next topic and just in a few seconds, and we'll call it a wrap on this show. Say Ghana bans public use of honorary doctorate and professorial titles.
Cannot be in Nigeria.
Why do you say that?
Why do you say that? Have you heard titles?
We like big names.
After somebody will tell you after 4 years of pursuing my PhD, you want to take in a normal introduction. If you introduce a man that has a PhD,
no, it's honorary. It's not the normal career.
It is
honorary.
It is not even still. Do you know what I did for me to be honored with that?
Okay.
Do you know what I must have done to a college, or done for a college or for a university before they decided to honor me with that? See, Nigeria is a place where I know that, yes, it doesn't put food on anybody's table, but it's something you can't take from them.
No,
so what do you have to say,
Ghana knows, maybe they have seen that such thing is affecting them, so they have to put it away. But just like
don't you think that even in Nigeria, I'm sorry, with all due respect,
yes,
an illiterate, because of the little fortune gotten by God, is now being given an honorary doctorate, and he will go about priding himself as a doctor
and using it against
don't
the
you
people.
think that Nigeria as a country, our citizens or some of our citizens are messing this up?
That is it. They are messing it up now.
Should he come to play in Nigeria?
It should. If
you said little fortune,
if they will agree.
How little is the fortune?
If they will agree. Honestly, because what you find out in Nigeria today is that it is even the illiterates that go ahead to get this honorary whatever, and they are now using it anyhow. I believe that is what happened in Ghana. that met the government, a bold government, the government that wants its country to develop. They say stop it. It cannot happen in Nigeria except we have a bold person in government.
Maybe to give more credit to those people who are well educated. So maybe it will affect the values.
How will our politicians contest for election
without those big
if you take this little opportunity they have to add doctors to their names? How do they happen? No, it's Nigeria is Nigeria's. Corruption has eaten so deep.
All right, Mr. Ifeanyi, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome, sir.
Can you please tell our viewers your last word?
Well, my last word is let's keep believing in Nigeria. It will get better.
Wow.
No matter what. Let us love this country. Say the truth always. Nigeria will get better.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. And my co-uncle, your last word.
My last word, in as much as it hurts to say it, there's so much happening in Nigeria that the masses are not. It is beyond what we are seeing. There is so much. There are certain things we can't see on air, but there is so much. If we can just know half of what the exposure I have gotten so far, we don't know anything now. It's what they want us to see that we see. See, he said yes, there's hope for Nigeria. Deep inside of me, before this hope can be actualized, then they have to be. That's my last.
It is well. Mr. FM, once again, we want to thank you for being with us this morning. It's a privilege. Thank you for availing us your presence. Thank you so much. And to my co-uncle, thank you so much for being with us today. And our viewers, thank you so much for also being with us this morning. But before I go, this is my final word. Mr. President, 2 years have passed, and the promise of a renewed hope is yet to materialize. The citizens have been plundered into abject poverty as we watch the geometric increase in the prices of goods day by day. The economy still stands unstable, even if not worse. The electricity tariff hike and the high cost of petroleum are disturbing. Mr. President, when will the masses enjoy the dividends of this supposed democracy? When will the common man be able to afford a decent living? When will our leaders be responsible enough to undertake their responsibilities? When will the president do something? God bless Nigeria. I'm Femi Ogundare. Bye for now.